Welcome to the Real Estate Show with Pat Lopez, where we talk everything real estate. Today, my guest is Rachel Street from Compass. Rachel, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
Great. Okay, so I always start off the show by asking my guest, how did you get started in real estate? Tell me your story.
Well, I never really planned to be in real estate. I went to school for music. I studied to be an opera singer. So that was my first career. But I finished, I went to Italy and staying there for 3 years, didn't make any money.
Now, hold on. So you went to Italy to study opera?
Yes, so I was there sort of studying, performing, scraping by. And I moved back 2008, 2009, which was not an amazing time to get a job with a music degree. My dad was a commercial mortgage broker, and he was like, get into real estate, get into real estate. And I finally relented after working a series of temp jobs and began working with him in the commercial mortgage world.
Right.
And while I was there, he encouraged me to get my real estate license. I also took the courses to be an appraiser.
Okay.
Yeah. But I never got my appraisal license because I didn't do the practice hours. But
okay, right. Yeah, because it's a ton of hours.
Yeah.
I spoke to an appraiser before and I was like, oh, man.
I did all the courses, which is a great way to learn real estate.
Right. So great. So you can evaluate an appraisal at least, right? Okay. So, so how long in real estate? Like when did you start?
2009. Yeah.
Okay. So a little bit, and it was a tough market in 2009 because you just had the financial crisis with the housing. Okay.
Yeah.
So you really started out there.
When I started, I wasn't really doing too much, production. I started out doing the loan servicing, and I did put the packages together for the commercial, deals that we would send off. So I did some analysis. I would, put together the financials and things like that, and then I, started working a little bit more in production.
Okay, so then when did you start as an agent? Full-time or what did that look like?
Yeah, so I got my real estate license while I was there, and I did a couple deals for friends.
Okay.
But I didn't really, I didn't do it full-time. I worked with my dad until 2013. In 2013, my father unexpectedly fell into a coma overnight, and he passed away after 2 weeks. It was actually, I closed on my first, which was supposed to be my first investment property that I was going to fix up and rent out on December 23rd, and December 24th, he passed away.
Sorry to hear that.
So, I lost my dad, I lost my job pretty much because it's a small company. I ran the company basically for a year and finished out our business. I closed loans. I was calling people and asking what is a mortgage? What's title insurance? But we figured it out. And then I thought, well, what am I going to do now? So I hung my real estate license with a brokerage in Center City, Space and Company, which is where I was for about, 10 years. And my idea was just to keep it active.
Right.
I really wanted to work in construction. So I sold my primary residence, which is just a little row home in South Philly. I moved into the shell that I had purchased to renovate and rent out. And I lived there. I kind of camped out in the bathroom or in one of the bedrooms for, about 6 months and fixed it up. I showered at the gym.
Right.
And then my people started asking me to do construction work. And so I got started in construction. But I kept my license active, and my neighbor asked me to sell her house for her. I sold her house, and then she recommended me to 3 people, and I just sort of started in real estate without actually really intending to have a real estate career.
Okay, so let me ask you this question, because I know you have the name of your construction company?
It's Hestia Construction.
Hestia. Okay, so then where did that come from? Because you're telling me you're an opera singer, you went to Italy, I didn't hear anything about, my father wasn't a contractor, my brother was a contractor, my uncle was a contractor,
When my dad was younger, he'd been a carpenter, and he always wanted a boy. He had 2 girls, and I was the youngest, so I did a lot of, I grew up on a farm, so we did a lot of work outside with our hands. We built things, we built furniture together, and so I knew how to use tools. And I fixed up the house basically with a friend of mine who worked in construction and myself, and it was just the 2 of us working, and I learned on the go, as many people do. I took courses. I subsequently went to Temple and got a certificate in construction management, and I've done different classes, especially in historic restoration, which is where my interest lies mostly.
Right.
I sold that house. I made a tremendous profit, like more than I probably made cumulatively working for my dad for
Right.
years. And I thought, this is not a bad job. And that's how I started. So I just took that money, I reinvested it into another house in Passyunk, fixed that up, did a cash out refi, rented out the rooms in my house while I lived there. And I just used everything to pour into my business. And I started flipping homes and eventually got a TV show pretty quickly after.
There you go. So I'm going to get into that. So, so you basically just dove right into the construction part
Yeah.
on your own property. So you learned as you went along.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And then how many flips or how many properties did you buy before the TV show came about?
I don't know. It wasn't too many. It actually happened very quickly because I was originally, when I got into construction, I was doing work for other people. So once they saw that first house that I had done, because I was always interested in the design part.
Right.
And at the time, there weren't a lot of like design driven renovations. I feel like in South Philly, which is where I was working. Subsequently, now there are a ton, right? But so people were really interested in it and they wanted me to do their house. And so I started working for other people.
Fixes.
Yeah. And especially like being a woman, and I worked with a woman electrician. A lot of women wanted to hire me. And so I did a lot of houses for other people, and I did a few for myself. That sort of.
Okay. Now let me ask you this question. You had a show, Philly Revive, on the DIY.
Yep.
DIY network. So how did that come about? How did they find you, or did you find them? Like, what happened there?
Yeah, so that was never something I was ever on my radar. When I joined Space and Company as a realtor, they had a focus on your brand, right? Building your brand and being on social media. I was the last person that I know to get an iPhone. I was barely on Facebook and didn't really know how to use it. And they were like, you need an Instagram account, a TikTok account, and a Facebook account. And so I thought, all right, well, I can do Instagram, right? Like that's just pictures. So I set up an Instagram account and I probably posted 5 or 6 pictures, mostly of like my dog and us working and construction. And that's how one of the producers found me on Instagram. So they contacted me. And originally, I thought it was a scam. I thought it was, give us $600 and, we'll put you in front of the TV producers. So I ignored it. And then they called me and they said, hey, we sent you an email. I wasn't sure, if you saw it, but we're interested in, exploring TV show with you. So in the beginning, it was kind of just a fun thing. We never thought it would go anywhere.
Right.
So they interviewed me on Skype, and my dog kept, running through the video. And then they decided they wanted to come and film, for a day with us to see.
Right.
Well, first they asked us to send some videos of us working, and I sent them some very awkward, like, videos of me using a hammer drill. And then they came and filmed for a day. And the crew and I, we were just joking around the whole time, because we never thought we were going to get a show. And so in one of those points, one of them mentioned to the producers that I used to sing opera. And she was like, we need you to sing opera. So then there are these horrible clips that like haunt me to this day of me, joking around singing opera on the construction site. And somehow that became a pilot TV show. There's like a lot of levels to it. They all submit ideas to the network, and then you get to the next level review. And we had a pilot that aired on TV, and we thought, oh, this is so fun and cool. But again, we never thought it would be a TV show. And then one day the producer called me. I hadn't heard anything for months, and she was like, are you sitting down?
Right.
You got a TV show. So that's how it happened. It's all chance.
Now with that, that exposure, did that really help every other, all the other aspects of your business, whether it be, real estate and your construction part? Or?
Yeah, so I think it's, it's always a double-edged sword. So you get a lot of positive attention, then you also get a lot of negative attention. You get both worlds. So most of it was positive. It definitely, kind of catapulted me up into the next sort of tier, I think, of what I wanted to do. And that was very helpful. And I got access to a lot of amazing opportunities through that. I started working with Lowe's Home Improvement, and something I'm very interested in is like teaching kids about the trades and how to start your own business and things like that. So those were all things that were great that came out of it. We got hundreds of amazing emails from people that watched the show. But I got audited by everyone possible, the EPA, L&I. So, whenever you're on a public platform, you get good and the bad. But yeah, it was definitely overall a positive.
Okay, so right now, you still have your construction company?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, and you're an active realtor,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
You have a team, the
Yes.
street group?
Yes.
Right. Now, how many people are on your team?
Right now, it's just two of us.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're small. We're gonna build up. So that was part of my move, was to start building my team.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So what did your book of business look like? Do you primarily deal with sellers, buyers, or equally both?
Probably both. I think my business is pretty much 50-50. We have a lot of repeat clients. I don't do a lot of advertising or anything like that. I just, I do a lot of cross marketing. So I meet people through the construction industry. I also have a lead testing business. I went kind of hardcore into the lead-based paint after I got audited. So we started which I actually own with my son. He's my business partner. So we have a lead dust testing business, and I meet a lot of property investors through
Right,
that.
exactly. Yeah, because every X amount of years you have to do the test.
Every 4 years.
Right,
Yeah.
there you go. And then in turn, if you're in front of a bunch of investors, they constantly buy and sell, and they figure, okay,
Yeah, so it kind of, we're able to sort of cross market, and then, a lot of people are like, oh, I want to fix up my kitchen before I sell my house. I'm like, okay, well, I could do both.
Now, let me ask that question, because that's pretty interesting to me. Do you do a lot of that? I mean, or even, I hate to bring these people up, like the Property Brothers type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do any of that at all, or no?
So the reason I have 3 businesses is because I feel like it's really important to be able to pivot, right? You have to shift when the market shifts.
Right.
And real estate was going super well for me, last year, and I was thinking, maybe I should just kind of slow down on construction and just focus on real estate. And then interest rates shot up, and everything slowed down. I was very happy to have construction. So for a while, I was focusing mostly on the construction side, focusing mostly on my own projects that I was renovating to rent out. But more recently, I've been doing more work for other people. I'm very interested in historic restoration. I bought an old Victorian house, and I've been, restoring everything from the old windows and, mortar and everything. So I did a lot of courses to learn different skills in that. And and so we've been doing a lot of work for clients as well. And on the real estate side, it's very easy to do sort of smaller projects for real estate clients that want to get their houses ready to sell. We have an inventory of staging furniture, so we can be a one-stop shop.
Right.
We come in, we analyze your home, we can do a walkthrough, help you fix things that need to be fixed before they, list the house, make decisions, and be able to quantify, what the benefit of renovating certain areas of the home would be, and then stage it and sell it.
Right. I mean, and what you just said there to me is incredibly valuable. So if you're walking through a house and you see, oh, look at that stain, or look at this, that's super helpful, because a buyer walking in may look, oh, look at that stain, oh, $5,000. Well, no, it's a $200 fix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's valuable. And then also, giving advice on how to move for some furniture around, stage, whatever, super important as well.
Conversely, I've been on a lot of appointments with realtors to walk through homes with people, and the realtor will be like, oh, just take out that wall, make it open. And I'm like looking at the wall. It's a major structure.
Right.
So, it's good to be able to understand, as a realtor, the basics of construction. And even realtors that aren't involved in construction, there's some good courses through the, Poly Institute, I think it's called.
Right.
It has a good construction course you can take, and kind of give you the basics too, which is always helpful.
Okay, great. Okay, so now for 2025, where's your focus, or is it an equal focus on construction, real estate sales, and your lead-based paint business? What are you seeing?
Yeah, so the lead-based paint is more of a side business to help my clients, and really, truthfully, a sneaky way to teach my son about business.
Right. Yeah.
Because nobody wants to sit down and listen to me talk about it. Well, my kids don't. So, but if there's a little bit of money involved, he's there. So that's not a primary focus. I kind of split my time between real estate and construction. I'm trying to do more historic restoration projects. And that's been fun because we've attracted a lot of clients like that because of the show. So that's a big focus for me. I would like to continue investing in real estate, but I'm always watching the market, choosing the right time, and starting to build up my real estate team, add some new people to the team, and yeah.
Now, with the historical restoration, I mean, are you trying to target certain neighborhoods? Because some neighborhoods are historical, so everything has to be done a certain way, and a lot of contractors, just can't handle that.
Yeah, so I don't know that we target certain areas. We work mostly in Philadelphia and we do some work out on the main line. But I live in Germantown. I recently moved there from South Philly, and I live in an old Victorian house, and it's just my passion. So in that area, there are a lot of similar homes that need help, and so that's what we're here for. But we also do regular laddered rehabs too. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so you deal with buyers, sellers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
Yes, they can call me or they can email me. My email is rachel.street@compass.com. My website for my construction company is www.hestiaphilly.com, HESTIA, Philly.com. And my phone number is 267-357-1334.
Okay, great. Now, one last question I have for you. Do you see potentially another show coming about? Is there anything going on as far as that's concerned?
So we've had some discussions about it. Not sure exactly, what direction to go to. The show that we did was based on, each episode was one property, start to finish. And it did have some aspects of the design and, restoring original stuff. But it was also very focused on the financials of flipping properties, which was something I didn't love personally.
Right.
And I would love to do, show more about, restoring properties, restoring old properties, or something involved. We do a lot of, community service work, pro bono rehabs for people. Through the show, we had a lot of great connections with different suppliers. And so we've gotten people to donate materials or time, labor to help, some people that are in need of home repair. So maybe something focused on that, or teaching kids about the trades as well.
So you're not ruling out, potentially another show?
No, we've had some discussions about
so
it.
So if HGTV calls you up, say, Rachel, we need you. You'd be like, oh, you're twisting my over baby. Okay, that's good. Okay, so thanks for being on the show. Super appreciate it. And also thank you. You were at the Real Estate Symposium last year.
Yeah, it was fun.
You were one of my favorites on the show. I think I may have told you that.
I'm sure you tell everybody that.
No.
But thank you.
There you go. Okay, well, that's the Real Estate Show. Remember to subscribe below and also give some likes. Really helps out the show. Subscribe, follow the show on Facebook and Instagram, and leave a comment. Super important. Leave a comment or tell me some show topics you'd like me to cover in the future. Remember, the show is everything real estate, no limits. Hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll see you next week.